present Josh Pryor. He is passionate for both teaching and as a student of yoga. His dedication to the practice extends far beyond the mat to the thriving community he supports, pursuing study of the ancient text. Josh has held a fascination for metaphysics and philosophy since a young age and returned to his philosophical roots after a steadfast career in computer sciences. His approach is a light-hearted and undeniable enthusiastic, encouraging practitioner limitations of the physical body, translating into clear vision and altered states of awareness. Armed with a studious nature, he continued to deepen his knowledge and practice the likes of George Mahele in 2016 and Srinivasav Swami in 2017. This education informs the operation of Ashtanga Yoga, Newcastle. Josh has studied and practiced alongside experienced Western yoga teacher, also works as a specialist in business management, systematic analysis, IT, and marketing. He is an experienced commercial negotiator over the last 20 years. For the last 2 years, he has joined his attention to Yoga Australia. It is in his spirit that Josh speaks us today as a representative of the long-standing peak body of yoga in Australia, as a spokesman for the best intentions of the nation made richer by the teaching of the Indus Valley. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Josh Pryor. I'm honored to welcome and present Josh Pryor.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here again. I was here 1 year ago with a similar talk. I'm thrilled to be back. So my talk today is on spiritual leadership and inspiring others to serve. I thought it would be good to touch on that word. What does it mean to serve? Well, to serve someone is to attend to give them your attention at its root. This is a primary function of consciousness as well. Life as we know it, our individual awareness.
I'm delighted to welcome.
Our individual consciousness can be directed at objects, both gross and subtle. All manner of things we think about, we focus on people, ideas, visions. And the skill of life is to know about our power of focus, our ability to direct attention to things worthwhile, things of our choosing. And in life, it is common to find our attention sort of wandering carelessly. Sometimes we fall toward casual sense pleasures or conveniences or even addiction in some cases. It can seem harmless. It can seem like it doesn't really matter what we do with our mind in our spare time. And the effects of our mental activity are often delayed or even not seen at all. Regardless of this, the fruits of our mental and physical actions are, in fact, duplicated, mirrored, and extended through the constantly expanding multiverse that we can call Brahman. The Upanishads inform us that Brahman is the most broad and fundamental substrate on which all existence emerges and rests. It is the essential consciousness. It is the cause of causes. And all things we observe in the physical world, including this human body and this furniture here, existed there in consciousness first. That dawning expression of individuality that emerges from consciousness is often called Sat-Chit Ananda. And so the notion, the very idea for our current human incarnation arose there in Sat-Chit Ananda and immediately became manifest in that subtle form. Then, after a little while, with some repetition, some suggestion, the idea of a human form hardened into solid fact. As a human being with name and form, nama rupa. So that subtle form, that subtle body, which predates the physical body, is sometimes called Sukshma Sharira. It is an intermediary between the gross physical body and the unfathomable infinite consciousness. That small human body sits within the larger subtle body. And whenever we can get a situation where our physical intellect is acting in harmony with that raw subtle self, then we enjoy bliss, enjoy joy, and many, many tangible creative benefits. In this state of harmony, we hear the virtuous callings of our soul, and we can access the divine knowledge of our ancestors. This partnership, the physical brain working with the subtle body, means we can enjoy lasting prosperity and freedom while operating in this physical life. When these principles are understood and truly lived, it becomes apparent too that all actions committed by seemingly separate human beings actually resonate throughout the entire plane of consciousness. Whether or not you or I or the doer is aware of our motives or the seriousness of cause and effect, nonetheless, the effects ripple through the field and are shared by all. There's an infinite supply of time and energy, more than enough for us to create and destroy worlds. In this dance of creation, there is plenty of time for us all to experiment with glee and corruption, with clarity and confusion, until we reach that point where we crave to lift ourselves up into a more permanent state of vision, a more complete darshana. So when we find ourselves feeling that desire to be free, becoming tired with the identification as bone and blood, well then the greatest fortune we can experience is to come into contact with scriptures, texts, and teachers of non-duality. And by studying, we can intellectually learn these important principles. But as many of you know, a spiritual education is only complete when it results in a lived experience of non-duality. Intellect alone is not enough. It's important and it's necessary, but it's not quite enough. Only a constant experience with higher awareness will bring about the results that we see. So what are the results that we see from this process, this spiritual life, this yogic process? Well, I would say that it is an effortless and permanent awareness of and as the subtle body. To see through those eyes, to see through the eyes of the soul, more frequently than seeing through the human eyes. To know the beneficial actions to take in any moment, and to be free of the pained and tortured experience of a physical being who is lost in a world of materialism. Through these subtle eyes, these non-physical eyes, we appreciate everything about the world as it is, right now. Complete gratitude for where we are, what came before, and the freedom now at hand. We see the obvious truth that we are the authors of the world. And that from any moment, no matter how mundane or interesting it seems, from any moment there are numerous positive acts available to us. When we perform acts from this perspective, as the subtle body, we create joyous effects, positive karma that ripples through the field of Brahma for the benefit of ourselves, our future selves, our brothers and sisters, and all manner of cosmic siblings, family, and lineage. And again, it is by excellent teaching and consistent practice that these fruits arise. Friends, we must reach a point where this attitude of service, this focused attention on positive expectations for all, we must reach a point where it is no longer something that we need to be reminded of. All well and good to have books at your disposal, but if we don't reach this obvious awareness, then it is not yet complete. Every time we wake in the morning, we need to see more, we need to hear more, and rest in the bliss and the joy that is the nature of this positively charged world of imagination, of energy and vibration. When firmly established in this vision, we embrace complete responsibility, personal authority. And with that authority, we desire in every moment to intentionally craft every single thought, word, and action. Who among us is willing to accept less than total responsibility for their mood and their circumstance right now? Only one who has not properly grasped the teachings from this very great land. Who among us is willing to exchange clarity for convenience? Punya for pop. Only someone who has fallen victim to avidya, the notion that we could allow one person to suffer without every other person on the planet paying the price. And therefore, the greatest gift we can give is spiritual education. To make available teachings that go beyond literary constraints. This is the tradition of the Indus Valley. And great India, Mahabharata has done an exemplary job of preserving and proliferating these teachings thousands of years. Long ago, the oral tradition was practiced with rigor. And then came the preservation, ongoing, of palm leaf manuscripts. And now, in every bookshelf of every single yoga teacher in the Western world can be found a copy of the Yoga Sutras, containing information that is practical and also often far more mystical than people realise. We must be aware there is a risk, there's a great risk really, that language, that documents and media, those documents associated with the teachings become the only form of education. Don't get me wrong, they are vital, they are enjoyable. I mean, sometimes even looking at a page is enough. Not even reading, just looking at a page is enough. You glance at the page from Rigveda, from Upanishad or Aurobindo, that can be enough to alter your personal consciousness in an instant. But it is this that we seek, it is the energy movement, that instantaneous change. That's what we're seeking. It's the non-verbal awakening that allows the learned information to become permanently embedded knowledge. So, today my topic has been spiritual leadership and inspiring others to serve. So I need to make this talk slightly more relevant. I would like to suggest that the solution to this problem of spiritual leadership, this challenge, is for us all to facilitate great teachings for the people in our lives, the people in our businesses. These are the people who we grow alongside. It doesn't matter whether they are staff or managers. It doesn't matter whether they're friends or customers or family. The title does not matter. We want them to join the expansion. We need them to join us. In this modern age, it is simply unrealistic to think people will trek in search of a mountain guru. People are here working right now in organisations and companies, for-profit and not-for-profits, government agencies. And this is a perfect place to practice vision and service. A perfect place to teach and to learn to live in awareness of the subtle body. As individuals, we each have the ability to hear those non-physical sounds, to see the non-physical images. And as managers, as parents, as influencers, we have the ability to encourage this practice for others. Of course, our personal practice makes all the difference. It is observed by people around us. And it is reinforced by the reflections that we see in the world around us. This is the truth of non-duality. I exist here within you. and you exist within me. Our subtle bodies right now are overlapping. This is a beautiful truth, made all the more blissful when we practice it consistently, every day, every moment, not just in temples, not just when we're reading books before bed. We are here today because the thoughts we have each practiced have harmonized and brought us together. In business and families, it is possible to coerce people to serve, but it won't work. It'll work for a little while, but it's against the grain of spiritual nature. And that friction will be felt by you again. So instead, help others to learn. Blend spiritual teachings into your organization. Be taught yourself by excellent teachers, many of them are right here. Lead by instruction and by demonstration so that your world expands along with everyone else's. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your service to these ideas and your service to the vision of Dr. Pryor. Thank you.
Great.